Elon Musk is stepping back from Doge even as he promises Doge will become a permanent fixture in Washington, a permanent drain on our ruling swamp. Last week, Elon gave what media billed as a wrap-up of Doge's work at a cabinet meeting, sporting two hats, saying he will spend more time on Tesla and, of course, going to Mars. Afterwards, he sat down with Axios for what the Washington Post framed as a, quote, exit interview. It was anything but. In fact, Elon said Doge would be permanent instead of wrapping up on July 4th as originally intended. He called Doge, quote, a way of life like Buddhism, adding, is Buddha needed for Buddhism? Moreover, this is what Elon does. In his companies, Elon is very hands-on setting it up. Then he leaves it to capable people and only parachutes in if there is a major problem to troubleshoot. This is what he does with Tesla, with SpaceX, with X, if you recall the kitchen sink. This is why Elon can run a half-dozen major companies worth several hundreds of billions and still find time to go to MMA fights and repopulate the earth. Having said it, Elon admitted Doge has not been, quote, as effective as I like. Namely, by his count, Doge has found $160 billion in spending when he had hoped for $1 trillion plus. A big part of that, of course, has been resistance from inside government, above all by Congress. Now, I mentioned in recent videos how the Republican Congress is trying to re-spend between 85 cents on the dollar, the House, and 99 cents in the Senate of Doge savings, including on the military, which is grotesquely overfunded, yet has found less than 1% of its budget in Doge savings. If you believe that just 1% of the military budget is waste, I got a bridge to sell you. One congressman recently shared that a proposal to reduce U.S. aid funding, not eliminate, just reduce, actually failed to get a majority of Republicans. That would be the left's biggest slush fund, and most Republicans don't want to cut it. Why? Because the GOP has gotten very comfortable in the corrupt D.C. swamp, and neither Elon nor Trump can force them. Republican voters have to make the change. Speaking of voters, congressional primaries are coming up in just over 7 months, and since very few people bothered to vote, your vote counts roughly threefold. If you're listening to this video right now, you are precisely the voters who can fix Republicans in Congress. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. Elon is still staying involved. He'll spend a day or two per week on Doge. While making Doge permanent is something we need for transparency to keep voter pressure on Congress. As for Doge itself, like Elon, I was originally hoping for big spending cuts to reduce inflation, along with cutting red tape and regulation to help grow the economy. Now, it's done some of this. Deregulation is going fast, and spending growing 8 times less than Biden at least takes us out of the fire, even if we're still in the frying pan. But the biggest legacy of Doge, and a surprise to me anyway, is the industrial-scale corruption it's found, and which is now out in the sunshine. If that corruption keeps voters engaged enough to light a fire under Congress, we could finally break through. In the coming months, we'll get an actual budget from Congress putting their money where their mouth is, soon followed by those primaries, at which point we will know if Doge has changed Washington for good or if the swamp won this round. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.